Hi everyone, welcome back to the English Lit, where we explore everything about English literature and storytelling. Today, we're diving into a question that often confuses many. What are the differences between a memoir, a biography, and an autobiography? And do these genres overlap sometimes? Stick around because, by the end of this video, you'll have a crystal clear understanding of these terms, and some great book recommendations too. Let's start with biography. A biography is a detailed account of someone's life written by someone else. It usually covers their entire life, from birth to death or their present day, depending on the subject. Sometimes a biography can be about someone who has already passed away or about someone who is still alive. The key features of a biography: written in the third-person perspective, requires deep research, often including interviews, letters, and historical documents. A biography normally has an objective tone, focusing on facts, achievements, and major life events. Here are some examples of great biographies. Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson. Born to Win is a book by Ron Chernow about the life of the greatest boxer, Muhammad Ali. Becoming Dickens by Robert Douglas Fairhurst is a book that portrays the story of Charles Dickens. Biographies are perfect if you want to learn about a person's life from an outsider's perspective, combined with historical and social context. Now let's move on to the next category: autobiographies. The key difference here is that the subject or the author writes their own story. Autobiographies are often comprehensive, covering their entire life, from childhood to their achievements and challenges. Key features of an autobiography: first, it is written in the first-person perspective. Secondly, it is highly personal, with the author's own voice and emotions shining through. It focuses on the author's entire life journey, typically in chronological order. Examples of famous autobiographies: Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela, and The Story of My Life by Helen Keller, in which Keller writes about her suffering from a severe illness that left her blind and deaf. Not long after, she also became mute. She portrays her tenacious struggle to overcome these handicaps. So, autobiographies give us a unique insight into the author's thoughts and feelings. It's like they're sitting down with you, telling their story directly. Now, let's talk about memoirs. Memoirs are like a slice of an autobiography, focusing on specific events, themes, or periods in the author's life. They're less about covering everything and more about reflecting deeply on personal experiences. The key features of a memoir: written in the first-person perspective, focuses on a specific theme, such as family, career, or a life-changing event. Highly introspective, often emotional, and sometimes even poetic. Examples of memoirs: A Promised Land by former American President Barack Obama, as he writes about the start of his political life until the end of his presidency. Another example is the Japanese-American writer George Takei's They Called Us Enemy. In this story, Takei presents a graphic memoir about Takei's childhood imprisonment in the American concentration camps during World War II. Memoirs are perfect if you want to dive deep into a particular chapter of someone's life. They're often raw, reflective, and incredibly relatable. So, a biography or an autobiography tells us about the whole life of a person, while a memoir focuses on a certain stage or event in the life of the author. Don't forget that a memoir is similar to autobiographies because they are also written by the person themselves. Now that we've defined each genre, let's compare them side by side and have a recap. A biography is written by someone else. An autobiography is written by the authors themselves. A memoir is also written by the authors themselves. The focus is on the author's entire life in biographies and autobiographies, while the focus in memoirs is on specific events or themes perspective. Memoirs and autobiographies provide a first-person perspective, the author's, while biographies usually present a third-person perspective. The last aspect is the tone. Usually, it is objective, or at least aimed to be objective in biographies, while it is personal in autobiographies, and it is introspective and emotional in memoirs. So, as you can see, the biggest differences lie in the perspective and the scope of the story. However, you might find these books on Goodreads and other platforms as memoirs or autobiographies. These are just the tags of the books because not everybody know about these differences. So, which genre do you enjoy the most? Are you a fan of the broad scope of biographies, the personal voice of autobiographies, or the emotional depth of memoirs? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.